from Mexico. So it's exciting that you're coming down to Mexico City. Is it your first time down here in Mexico?
Uh,
Yeah.
I've never been to Mexico City before. My brother got married in Sayulita, if you know where that is. Not
Oh,
too
yeah.
far
Yeah.
from, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Puerto Vallarta. Yeah.
Yeah. So awesome, you're gonna be here. The weather's been crazy in Mexico. Not as cold like in Colorado. It's been raining a few at night. In the morning, it's cold.
Okay.
In the afternoon, it's hot. So it's very crazy, But nowhere as cold as in Colorado.
Okay.
So that's a
Good.
advantage. If you really want
Good.
to train for Mexico, why don't you just come down here to Mexico City for a few days and train?
That was my question. I mean, yes, this area up here is about the same elevation, but there's serious differences. And so what are you afraid of? Let me ask you, you're from Mexico. Are you from Mexico City?
I am not, but I've been there a lot of times.
Okay. Would it have been dangerous for a NFL franchise to spend 6 days in Mexico City?
Nowhere at all.
Explain that. Because I think the average American that doesn't know anything about Mexico City would be like, ooh, that's dangerous.
Insecure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I mean, the thing is that you always see on the TV and everything, but I mean, you know that you're not going to be at night at 10 o'clock, at the city that you don't know. I mean, you just be in the safe places. I mean, it's just not as bad as it seems. Mexico City, I mean, a lot of international teams come and play and stay here, international artists. So, I mean, it's nothing to be really afraid of. A lot of Americans come here and they have a great time.
Well, I think that's probably what Kyle Shanahan's afraid of, the great time. All I can notice is that the 2 trips the Niners have taken have been to like the sleepiest places in America, West Virginia and Colorado Springs. I think that's not a coincidence. It's like, hey man, no Instagram models, no socializing, just stay in your room and hang out with your buddies. It's like, okay. I think Mexico City might be a little too much fun for the 23-year-olds on the team.
That's true. All right.
Yeah.
And then another thing, it's this is a revenge from the 2005 game from the 49ers Arizona game down there. Tim Rattay was the quarterback for the 49ers. And then he got traded to the Buccaneers after that game because he was benched to Alex Smith. And guess who was the quarterback with the Bucs that year? It was Brian Grease. So Brian Grease right now is with the 49ers. And that's just how life is, I was just very unfortunate.
Who was quality control? You know who was quality control in that Bucs team that year in 2005?
Who?
Kyle Shanahan.
Holy smokes.
Kyle Shanahan.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's a
holy smokes.
Holy smokes. That's just the way things are.
Okay.
And just one question for you. Where do you rank the 49ers in your power ratings right now?
Oh man, I don't have a power rankings, but let's do it like this. In the NFC, I think there are 2 teams that are kind of a cut ahead. Minnesota and Philadelphia, although Philly just lost. Mm-hmm. I think the Niners have as good of a chance as any other team in the NFC to break into that top group. They just haven't done it yet. But they could. I think a lot of us expect them to, but I mean, Minnesota just beat Buffalo. The Niners don't have a win like that yet.
They don't.
But it's not their fault. They've only really played 1 playoff team so far, 2.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
what about you? What do you think?
You got to beat who you got to beat. I mean, I had the 49ers at number 5, number 1 Eagles, 2 Chiefs, 3 Vikings, 4 Bills, and then 5 49ers. So, I mean, I definitely believe we can beat the Vikings. We did it last year.
Yeah.
And then in the playoffs a couple of years ago. So they're definitely a team that I really think we can beat. The Dallas Cowboys. We beat them as well last year. The Eagles, they lost to Washington. So, I mean, there's a huge chance. And go 49ers.
Don't the Niners seem like a team that can beat anyone except for maybe Kansas City, but also can lose to anyone? I mean, they let the Chargers hang. That's what I think is so interesting about this team is like they play up to their competition. They play down to their competition. They're an enigma week to week. But maybe this week will be the week that they find themselves in Mexico.
Hopefully.